Hi, I have recently discovered paper beads, and I have made many of them out of all kinds of different paper, magazines, cardstock, and I am not going to show you how to make paper beads. There's hundreds of tutorials on that, but I have found what I find to be my favorite paper, and I wanted to show you how I make that. And the beads you get with that paper look like this, or like that, or like this. You can really customize the colors you want when you make your own paper. So I will show you how I make that, and if there is a video like this already out there on YouTube, I am very sorry. I couldn't find one, so hopefully I don't look like a copycat, but stay tuned and I'll show you how I make the paper to make these beautiful beads. So the idea for these beads came from a doodle I did on a piece of watercolor paper that I didn't like and that I would never have used for anything, and I decided to cut it up into beads. And what I am using is cold press 140-pound watercolor paper, and I find it rolls really nicely into beads. So the reason I love these beads is because you can customize the colors you want to end up with. I prefer to cut mine the long way instead of the short way. So you definitely want your lines to go this way, which I believe is called perpendicular, because if you painted lines on here this way, that wouldn't work. You want the stripes. So you would pick some watercolor that you really like, and this is no particular brand, it's just watercolor. And you would just make lines. And I use my watercolor pretty concentrated because you really want nice definition to the color. So I'm going to try to speed this up and just give you an idea of what I do. And I would continue, but I'm going to pick another color. I think I'd like some orange. So pick what you like. You can give your beads a total color direction. All blue shades, you could put some green in, you could make it purple. One of the reasons I also started doing this is because everyone I know wants purple beads, and it's not easy to find purple paper, so at least I haven't found it very easy. Oh, here are some beads I've already rolled from my last sheet. So I think you get the idea here. I'm going to turn this off so I don't bore you with just painting lines, and then I will turn it back on when I have the whole sheet filled. So I am almost finished. I'm just putting the last little stripe of color in here, and as you can see, there's no rhyme or reason. You can let your imagination run free. You can pick whatever colors you want. I've made lots of these now, and I have not made an ugly bead with this method. So I will let this dry and be back. Okay, so my paper is dry. This is 15 inches by 11. So I choose to make my beads ½ an inch by 15. When you roll those, you get these really pretty little round beads. And I'm just going to cut a few strips. Like I said, this is not a tutorial on how to make beads. This is not a tutorial at all. This is just me showing you some fun stuff. So, oops, there you go. This is live. I need a new blade. I'm all flustered now. So anyway, let me see if I can get this one cut. My blade is dull. So, like I said, if you want to learn how to cut beads, lots of tutorials out there. So, when you use the watercolor paper, you get these beautiful strips. This is a sheet I did yesterday. And look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of paper. And then you can roll these beautiful beads that you can totally customize to the color you want instead of hit and miss when you use a piece of catalog or whatever. So I hope this was helpful. So a couple of afterthoughts. I watched what I recorded and I noticed that I did not hold my watercolor paper where you could actually see it. So I wanted to show you. It is 11 by 15, 140 pound cold press watercolor paper. That's what I used. And these beautiful strips laying here is the sheet that you saw just a few minutes ago. I changed the cutter, the blade in my cutter, and cut them up, and I love them. Every time I make a new sheet, I'm just in love with the colors that I can come up with. So hopefully this inspires you. And I also wanted to clarify what I said about my beads. I know I said I like 1/2 inch by 15 inches when I make these beads. The necklace I've been showing you is actually 2 different size beads. My 1/2 inch right here by 15 alternated with 1 inch by 15 beads. So I didn't want to be misleading about that. If you just cut 1/2 inch, then you get these beautiful little round beads, and with some seed beads and little imagination, you can make the most beautiful jewelry. So, thanks for watching.